all the energy.
Thank you for having me. Thank you for having us here this morning.
You're welcome to Morning at NTV and welcome to Uganda.
Thank you.
And we have the jazz producer himself as well. You're most welcome to Morning at NTV, Chris Lang.
Thank you.
And then we have the man behind the organizing team for the concert. You have seen him, you have heard him, you have enjoyed it. I personally have. I still do. Isaiah Katuma, you're most welcome to Morning at NTV.
Thank you.
So let's start with talking about the concert that has me seated between Chris Lang and Darren Rand this morning.
Let me start by saying it's a great honor to have these two gentlemen in town. Now, Darren is not only a saxophonist, he's a fantastic producer as well as a saxophonist he is.
Yes.
Top guy. Now, Chris is also a saxophonist and a producer. So I had to make sure that you know that you are seated between saxophonists and producers.
Actually, we have to mention that I am seated between a triple threat right now. 3 saxophonists. I have to
That's true.
It's a triple threat. Who am I?
That's true. We chose Darren to be our representative as the big man. He's the man.
Well, let's listen to something from our representative before we go ahead.
There we go.
with
That's
the
it.
conversation. Well, when I listen to that, should I go for the concert or the concert is done? But anyway, there's more to the concert, and let's talk about the concert, Isaiah, happening on the 30th of April.
30th of April is the International Jazz Day. I mean, maybe people are asking, why Tuesday? International Jazz Day was on Tuesday, the 30th of April, and after the 30th of April is Labor Day. So no excuse for saying that, oh my God, it's in the middle of the week. So it's Labor Day, so you don't go to work, but we also get to enjoy and celebrate the International Jazz Day with the rest of the world, but also bringing in the best. So this time, and again, you were asking earlier why Darren and Chris came in early.
Yes, let's get into that. You know, the concert is on the 30th of April, and
Yes.
Darren came in an entire week before it. And well, for a number of people, usually know that artists come in for a concert maybe a day before, just a day before.
Yeah.
But an entire week? Well, I know it's Darren's first time in Africa.
Yeah.
But wow, I know he's going to enjoy the scene, but there's more there.
Yes,
He's coming.
but the idea is that we've had many international artists come in, and all they do is perform. We enjoy them, and they go. But we don't feel the impact on the industry. We don't feel like we've learned from them. We don't feel like we've related with them in any way that the industry has learned, that has grown. Not only the musicians, the professionals, but also the students, and. Darren and Chris were very gracious, and this is the first time we're doing it, but we want to do it every year. That when a performer is coming in, we want to ask, besides us enjoying what they do, how can they teach us to help us be better? Because we admire them, and that's why we go to them. But what they know a lot that they could share, but you know, so they're here. They've been doing workshops. We did Makerere University workshop on Wednesday, and then we're having today another one at African Institute of Music, and it's free.
It's free.
Exactly.
Okay, and I know that instruments are being given out because a number of times musical instruments, a number of people will tell you they're quite expensive.
Exactly, courtesy of this man. And I'll tell you the story behind Chris Lang. Chris Lang is the man that gave me my first saxophone in 2000. 19 years after he's here not only to perform with me, but also to continue together with him to continue giving out instruments to people. And we want to see this happening more often, every year and every now and again, in relation to the institutions that we are working with. So yes, he's the best man to talk about his heart about giving out instruments.
And when we talk about giving out, when you say it's free, all these workshops are free, they can come, they can learn, there's a bit of mentorship going on there. What does it take for me to get an instrument? Yes, Chris, what does it take for me to get an instrument?
Well, passion, desire, and God needs to tell us that you need that instrument. So we listen to him, and he tells us who to give it to.
So we have to pray as well.
We have to pray as well, yes.
Well, from the workshops that you have had, Darren and Chris, what would you say about Ugandans and them embracing music so far?
Wow. Well, obviously music is a deep part of the culture, we can tell, because we hear it everywhere, even in the way you speak. We can hear music in that inflection. And the joy of life and your passion for spirituality here is all very obvious, and music is a great way to express that. And so we can see that the rich heritage and culture you have here musically, and we just want to feed into that. You know, very often people can have a desire and can have a dream, but they don't have the tools to achieve that dream. And so we as Americans, we as followers of Christ, we just want to share what we have. We just want to help others, and so we're so thankful for the opportunity to do that here, because there's great potential here. We've seen that in this man.
Yes.
We've seen it realized in him over the years, and many other musicians that we've met over the years here. This is my 4th time in Uganda, so I've been blessed to meet many other musicians here who are very talented, very skilled, have as much potential as anyone else in the world. They just need a little help, and that's what we want to provide.
Okay, meaning all, as Ugandans, just speaking from you, is that we just need help. We just need help.
Just a little spark.
It's not that we don't
nudge.
have anything, we need help. And coming in with a nudge. Darren, you picked up a saxophone at the age of 12.
Yeah, I guess it's been a while.
It's been a while. Yes, it has been. And how has it been for you? For one who's watching and wondering, how do I get to be like Darren? How do I get to be like Chris? How do I get to be like Isaiah?
Well, I think you know, Chris spoke of passion, and passion has to meet hard work and dedication to a craft. And so, I mean, obviously I spent a lot of time practicing, and it didn't sound so good at first. But you know, we work hard, we practice, we have our passion, and once again it ties into spirituality and our faith. It's inseparable from music. This is all, I mean, God made us, He gave us music. It was a special gift, and I think the thing that I've really been touched here in Uganda is to see the hearts of people. There's kind of such a sweet joy that I see in the people that I've met here, and that translates into the music as well. As we were rehearsing, you know, with the band, and even listening to Isaiah's music and the musicians from Uganda, to hear what they bring, there's just a sweetness and a thoughtfulness and a joy that's really, really special here.
Yeah. And having all of you talk about faith and how you have remained grounded even with the airs that come with being a musician and being an artist, and everyone is praising you. How do you remain grounded? I'm going to ask each and every one of you, because within Uganda, Isaiah, I think you can agree that a number of times we have lost a number of artists along the way because of a few things that come with the gang that hangs around you, the groupies some would call. Yeah. So we'll start with you, Isaiah, and
I think for me, again, we're Christians, I see, but we play it on secular platforms because it's about music. But we know that it's a gift that we got, and the foundation that we base that on is who gave us that gift and the purpose of that gift. So we don't separate the gift and the giver of that gift. So we walk that walk, and we don't just want to talk about it. So even as I go and perform in the secular setting, or whatever setting it is, I have prayed about it, and I'm going to go there. I'm not going to come to play in church. I'm going to share my gift, but more so the principles that guide my walk are based on the giver of that gift. And because that is the case, humility is so key, because it is inseparable from godliness. You know, you cannot separate that. So, so for me, it's hard, but God makes it easier to walk the walk. It's not an easy walk. And when we do the mentorships that we're doing, even in institutions, we're trying to communicate to musicians that, it's not just about the music. Because when we share our secrets of how we have got to where we are also saying that we, besides practicing and working hard, we are prayerful and we are sensitive about God in our lives. So it's not a church service. We don't talk about church. We're talking about the gifting. And we're saying that gift cannot be separated from who gave it to us. And being deliberate about having those two things together.
Okay. And you, Chris? Or are we all in agreement with that?
I think we agree with what he's saying. Absolutely, yeah.
Okay,
yeah.
and embracing jazz within the country, within Uganda, Isaiah. 12, we've had the concert 12 times now. This is the 12th time it will be happening.
Yeah.
Do we see the numbers growing? Do we see jazz, the embracing of jazz within Uganda growing?
Yes, definitely. When we started this out, we didn't have players. So the idea was to grow the audience, and so that then the players can also come into just to really start the industry from scratch. Now, down the road, you and I know that there are many players that have come and are playing. The reason why we are doing this is because there is now an audience, and we want to grow it even bigger. We're doing workshops in universities because people admire to do this. So definitely there's growth, and we thank God for that. But we want also to, unlike I, who was struggling to teach myself without YouTube, without books, we want to avail the things the opportunities I didn't get, we want to give them to people who are coming after us to fly. But the responsibility of success is that once you achieve something, share it with someone coming after you. And again, those are the little principles that are from the godly perspective that we want to share and impart, and use our influence or our fame to influence positively. So the musicians you were talking about, some of them are good friends or are good friends, but the idea is to let them know that it's not about you just alone, but also the fame can be used positively to the community and also the other upcoming musicians that admire you.
Okay, and going to money, and musicians. Now, there is this whole point about, well, there might be money there. You're going to have all these concerts, and maybe when do you start making the money? Do you need to be patient? Is it like any other job that it's going to take some time?
It takes a lot of time and investment to get to that point. Yeah, I think any successful musician, if you could follow the behind the scenes story and the sacrifices and the investment into doing something that's excellent, I think it takes a while before you see that return. But I think the profit from any sort of a musical event, it also ties into us sharing music and God's love. I mean, people are touched by this. Our world is pretty crazy right now. So, we need more of God's love. And I think that when you do things for the right reason, the provision, the resources, they tend to kind of fall in line. People want to be involved.
I agree. And speaking of investments, you mentioned one thing, which, by the way, if they did not know, for those that are watching, you went ahead to get a master's degree in jazz.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, that talks about passion. There might be passion. You could have the instruments. You mentioned the fact earlier on that now we have YouTube. You can go ahead and learn from there. But teaching yourself, and you going ahead to get a master's degree, where do you put the skill, the passion, and then the learning?
There was a lot of years. That was a lot of years of schooling, and I actually was working on my doctorate when I left school a year before I finished my doctorate. I just felt in my heart like I was supposed to go share music, and so I stopped a year before my doctorate. So I'm hoping if there are any universities out there that want to, give me an hononory doctorate,
I'd love to achieve that goal.
I'd love to have that doctorate someday. But I'm, the tools that were learned in school were invaluable. but also just everyday experience, the kind of things that Isaiah has been through and Chris has been through. Kind of the school of hard knocks in the music industry. You talked about humility. If you don't, and I'll speak to musicians out there, if you don't have humility, you will. Someday you will, because something will happen. Something will happen in your career, or and it'll knock you down a few steps. So it's pretty important.
It's very, very, very important to learn all of things. Now, as we wrap this up, we'll just ask Darren to play just one more time, so we can enjoy this and then get into how much it is for one to get a ticket to get to the concert if they want a table. Yes, and are they already sold out?
Can I just before he plays, I just wanted, he's humble, but I'll also say this, that Kirk Whalum has been here and he's such an icon. I called Kirk Whalum just to let him know that I was going to meet Darren, and Kirk Whalum said, you know, Darren is one of my favorite saxophonists.
Okay.
Now, as big as he is, I want to encourage people to understand what he is on 30th.
Okay. Please. Clap my hands, but I will keep it for later. Do we hope to have any musical projects going on while he's here, while you're here, Darren?
We're actually been talking with local musicians and producers who are just anxious to hear tips and tricks, and so yeah, I think we're going to spend some time working with some local musicians and producers while we're here as well.
Hey, that is great news. I can't wait to hear it.
Just to mention, his production, he's not only produced for people like Dave Goes and Jonathan Butler, Cap Whalum, but the top guys. He's been nominated 4 times for Grammys as a producer. So definitely his skill is going to help the industry, and we're inviting as many producers as saxophonists and musicians, all instrumentalists from all over the place, to come today at the Institute of Music, African Institute of Music in Lubowa campus.
I was just about to ask where exactly, because a number of times Ugandans need to know. So the African Institute of Music? African
Institute of Music in Lubowa campus. Just by quality, you just go ahead, or you can reach out. Okay. You can reach out for directions, but it's very important for musicians to be there, because these are people who are in all areas of music, from the music business angle to production to artistry and performance. So it's all.
That's the place they need to be to learn all these things. You don't have to go to one person and then go to the other
Today
and then go to the other.
At 3 p.m. Yes.
3 p.m. till what time?
Till 5.
Okay, and then will there be another after today?
No.
So it's just yesterday and today?
Yes. Just Wednesday that we were at Makerere University and today.
Okay, so for all those that would like to go, it is the African Institute of Music in Lubowa.
Yes.
3 to 5. 2 to 5. 2 to 5.
3 to 5.
3 to 5.
Yes.
Well, how much is it for someone to go for the concert?
Concert. You have to be at the concert on Tuesday, International Jazz Day. It's 200,000 a ticket, and VIP is 400,000. The table is 4 million. Now, some people feel that it's a lot, but we have 3 artists on the same stage. We have myself,
Isaac,
Darren Rand, all the way from the US, and we have Angelique Joe, who is arriving on Sunday. She's excited about this show, and I'm sure that it's going to be ballistic in there.
And it's a show as well.
Every time we do a show, I always tell people that we want to do better than we did last year. Now, if you enjoyed the show last year, forget about last year. This year is going to be better. Yes.
Every single year, it's a different experience, a new experience, and quite worth the money.
Yes.
So, gentlemen, thank you so much. May God bless you in the spirit of Ugandans, for all those that are going to be touched, because today, for all those that are looking for that instrument, you feel like you have the passion, you feel like you have the skill, all that is lacking is that instrument you have been saving up. Well, there's an opportunity for you to get yourself a free instrument. Start praying to God. Hopefully Chris Lang will be able to listen to what is telling him, and you could be able to get yourself an instrument. I have been joined by Isaiah Katuma, a saxophonist. I have also been joined by another saxophonist as well, Mr. Chris Lang, and he's also a jazz producer, and the multi-talented, all of them, by the way, are multi-talented. Yes.
Yes.
I think Isaiah trying to run from it, but he is as well. Darren Ran, most welcome to Uganda, and hope you enjoy your time in Uganda.
Thank you. Thank you so much for having us.
Thank you.
Well, that has been it on our Tech Note segment this morning. We're going to be taking you into a traffic update, telling you what the roads look like this Friday morning with Stephen Mbide.
The Speaker of NTV People's Parliament, in partnership with the Ministry of Finance, Planning and Economic Development, invites the people of Hoima and neighboring districts for a session of NTV People's Parliament at the Hotel Kontiki, Hoima Town, on Friday 26th of April at 11 a.m. The discussion will be on accountability, a shared responsibility for effective service delivery. Kindly keep time.
Thank you for watching NTV. This is Stephen Mbide coming to you live from Lubigi, just a few meters from Namungona and Nansana Jenina stage. This is the traffic update, and here is the Hoima Road as we connect from any sides of the northern bypass joining Nansana areas. And as you can see from behind me, the pictures there on your screen showing a terrific traffic jam and a bumper-to-bumper situation here as you drive towards the Jenina stage. For you who is well conversant with the rest of the areas coming from Nansana or beyond that side, it's really too tight. And between the petrol station as you get towards the Jenina stage is also almost a 15 to